Okay, now I'm live. So somebody come in here and jump in. See if this works. Somebody jump in. Please jump in. Somebody jump in. One viewer, two viewers. So how do I get it to the chat? Okay, there's my chat. So if I paste this in here, you guys should be able to get into the actual Hangout. Correct? I hope I did that right. Tell me if I'm doing it wrong. It says I have two viewers. This might actually work. Now that I sort of have a clue on what the hell I'm doing. Cameraman, share screen, chat. You've been muted, unmuted. Camera, uncamered. Links. YouTube page, video embedded. Okay, where'd my chat go? There's the chat. Clueless. I am. I can learn how to type there, dumbass. Why is it doing that? I am. There's two people are watching, so there should be two people in here in the chat with me, correct? Or is that the Google Hangouts chat and not the live chat? Chris Riley uploaded a Prusa MK3 3D printer review. Sure he did. Let's go to me, my channel, see if I can actually watch my own video, see the chat, turn the speaker off. Yeah, I got no clue. I got no clue what I'm doing. That's the YouTube channel. That's not my actual chat. This should be the actual Hangout. Copy. Paste. So that should be the Hangout, correct? Did I do that right, Riley? Need somebody to join the Hangout. There's Wiley.
Yeah,
I did it right.
Yep.
That should be the Hangout, correct?
Yep. We're in the Hangout, and then if you you can pop your chat out of the YouTube room. Yep, you're live. I got you online. I got you.
I see it now. There's Wiley. About chat. And then I can close this window so I don't have to see the feed.
Yep, just pop out the chat, and that's all you need.
It's taking forever to load up the chat. Yeah. And there it is. Ta-da! Success!
Now you can live stream.
Well, all right.
Yep. Cool. I'll hang out with you until them guys come back, and then, like I say, I gotta heal on out of here, man.
Your live chat is gone now? Then
Yeah, I hung everything up because everybody
Well, I
left.
was gonna say we could post in yours, but the minute it wouldn't let me do 2 live chats, which makes total sense,
Yeah.
or 2 hangouts or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
I learned something new.
Yep. Oh, it's
So there's a group chat over here for the hangout. Is that just between us in the
yep,
hangout?
that's
That
only
doesn't
for
show
us.
in the YouTube.
Yep. That's just for us. YouTube can't see it. That's what I was saying on mine, is that I wish they had it so it stay on.
I kind of like it because then we could talk in the background, like, go fuck yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Like that. Now, do you actually see the chat or do you got to pop it out?
I gotta pop it out, or I can see above you it says "Go fuck yourself."
That's
You know, in the bottom
pretty
corner.
cool. Dude, when you think about the technology involved for this,
Yeah.
it's really kind of amazing.
All right.
I mean,
We'll
it
see
really
you
is.
later, Sean. Yeah. Just what was I gonna just say?
I mean, think about it. 20 years ago, we were still typing with you know,
Oh yeah.
brown and orange and yellow screens,
Well,
black and white.
I know it. That's crazy, man.
And now we're like doing live streams over freaking wire with instantaneous responses and, you
Overseas.
know, across the world. I
Yeah.
mean, if people from Europe could join us and be live,
Oh yeah.
it's just really, I mean, I always love technology, but it still to this day amazes me the stuff we can do.
Uh huh.
I already have a great day, everyone. God bless. Lag hiccup. Well, Skew, get in here. Join the stream there, frickin' Sean. Get in here and let's play with this. I highly doubt those guys are going to even come over.
You never know.
I think they were kind of burnt out. You stream for what, 4 or 5 hours almost straight?
Yeah, something like that. Well, 8 to noon. Yeah. I went from from what time was it? 8 o'clock is what it was. But Rookie should be back.
Yeah,
Um,
whatever. It is what it is.
I don't know if I got him.
This is more an investigation, anyways. I just want to see if I can do it.
Yeah, you can do it.
I was trying to do it. I kept trying to do it through OBS, and I was getting like major lag. And now I know why, because I was trying to do it through OBS instead of just through Google.
Yeah, dude. If you go through OBS, it uses the hell out of your computer, man.
Yeah, OBS drags my computer down like to a crawl.
Well, that's because you're trying to stream actually through OBS instead of just using OBS as an add-on.
Right. So you're basically using twice the bandwidth to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just trying to look for a few things to download here quick. Under new, but recently added my list. I don't know.
You know, I don't know if it's just because I'm streaming, but everything's a boatload clearer. Your cameras are wicked clear. Normally, you're like kind of choppy and foggy.
You're choppy as shit.
Huh?
You're choppy as shit on my screen.
Yeah. See, you're normally when I'm watching your stream, everything's kind of, it's not terrible, but it's a little blocky, choppy. Right now, it's crystal clear, and even yours it's like the clearest I've ever seen your stream.
Oh, this is the way on my stream always looks, though. You go back and watch one of my streams, you'll see that.
We have to celebrate. I gotta have, because I'm almost out of rum and coke.
Oh no!
Did you hear that?
I heard something.
That's my battery telling me it's charged.
Oh, I thought that was your bottle telling you it was empty.
Well, that's far from empty. I've had this, and I drank a lot while I was in New York, just because there's nothing else to do. And there's still half a bottle left.
Jeez.
And we had drinks. I had, when I had friends down, we started drinking out of it. When I got back from New York, they were here for 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Oh,
I call them the gypsies because they come twice a year with their camper. I want their life. Check this out. Is this the life? They're retired. Neither one of them were what I'd call rich, but he was like a big bankery. He did financials for the banks. He didn't actually work at a bank.
yeah.
He basically does auditing for banks, is what he does. So, he wasn't poor.
No.
He wasn't rich, but he worked from home a lot. But basically all they do now is they're both retired. They bought a camper. They actually have a house in like Tennessee or somewhere where they just bought it. It was wicked cheap. But they only stay there like 2-3 months a year.
Yeah.
They bought a camper, bought a truck, and they just travel around the country visiting their friends.
Nice.
They hang out here. They usually come here like in the spring and fall. They hang out here for a week or two.
Yeah.
And then move on to, their kids live local. One of their kids lives local. New York, I should say local. It's, a couple hours away. And they just travel up the East Coast in the spring, travel down the East Coast in the fall, go over to the West Coast, travel around, go up to Chicago because their daughters live in Chicago, hang out. And they just bounce around with their camper. And that's what they do all year long.
Oh, shit.
They go home for like 3 months a year.
Yeah,
9 months of the year, they just drive around and live in their camper.
Oh, that's nice, man.
That would be all. I could do that. That's just. That is sweet. That's a sweet life. I mean, that was. Hey, there we go.
What is that? Hey, there's Ricky.
What is up, Mr. Ricky Tanner?
You got it all figured out, huh?
I guess. I don't know if I'll ever remember it because
it's easy.
I started drinking.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I've already had one. I'm on my second one, and that was only 10 minutes ago.
But you're all out now.
And I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
So they're going down easy. And I don't drink much, so 2 drinks will probably have me so I'll be sorry and talking like that. Because it don't take much. I'm a cheap date.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I used to be a real expensive date, but I'm cheap now.
Yeah, it's funny. It's I used to drink and do drugs. I was a miserable kid. I was not a good child.
Neither was I.
I'll tell you what. They talk about heavy drugs turning people into drug addicts. They gave me morphine after I broke my neck. For about 6 months straight, I had liquid morphine. I literally had an eyedropper, and I drop it on my tongue, and so because they bolt that thing through your skull, and they leave it there for 6 months.
Yeah.
And smoking pot and snorting coke and taking acid and all that crap is just pointless now.
Oh yeah.
I just have no desire for it because none of it's as good as morphine, and I don't really want to do morphine every day because it just turns you into a blob of putty anyways.
I'd like a blob of putty once in a while.
And I'll tell you, my tolerance, I used to have a wicked tolerance. I could take a fistful of Vicodins or Percocets. I could eat them. I mean, literally, I've taken fistfuls and like nothing. Now I take like one, and I'm like, oh my God, they so over affect me. It's like I don't even want them. They make me feel like crap. I do not enjoy it anymore.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I don't enjoy drinking anymore. I drank for 40 years of my
I like to.
life.
I'll have a rum and coke, but the last time I had a rum and coke was, when the gypsies left. They were here. They left about 2 weeks ago. That's the last time I had a drink. I mean, I drank a lot. Again, I drank a lot when I was in New York because, you work a 12-hour day. You get out of work, you're wired. You take a shower, you go down to the bar, or you sit in your hotel room and you suck down 2 or 3 so you go right to bed, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But even then, I mean, I drank 2 or 3. The only night I drank heavily when I was down in New York is my boss's son's down there. He's actually in Stamford, right across the border. And it was his birthday one of the days we were down there. So we all went out for his birthday. It was supposed to be go out and have 1 or 2, and we went out and had 10 or 12.
Yeah, I got to rock and roll. We'll see you guys tomorrow probably.
Hey, later. Thanks for
All right,
helping me set up.
Yep, not a problem. Bye-bye.
So
We have
do
one
the
whole
troll-
viewer.
Yeah. So
One viewer.
do the trolls ever come over to your channel and hit you with their spineless thumbs downs?
I don't know. I don't even care.
I don't either. The
I
funny
pay
thing is
zero attention to it.
They think they're anonymous, and I know exactly who they are.
Just
And I
don't
hope I
even
see
care.
it. I hope I see him at Murph or something someday. Because if I have something to
Who
say
is
to
it?
somebody, I'll say it right to your face.
Why? How do you know who it is?
Because other people that are in their channel come and show me what they're saying and pictures that they're posting and stuff.
So who is it? Come on, spit the beans.
It's the group of mean girls that hang out in Matrix's channel. His Discord channel.
See, I just don't care. Everyone makes a big deal about it.
It's a bunch of grumpy old men who have no talent and no ability to do anything, so they sit around and hate on people who do.
Yeah, well, that's what they do then. That's their talent, is
Yeah.
to hate on others. I just don't care.
Instead of get off my lawn, I'm going to thumbs down you because you can do something I can't do and I can't figure out how to do it, and so it makes me feel superior to you to give you a thumbs down.
I just don't care.
But when they thumbs down Walter for the video of just him putting up a video saying, "Hey guys, just want to let you know I'm home. My house is still intact. Everybody's safe. Everybody's good." When they thumbs down that's not even human. That's just absolute trash.
That is trash. But you know what? I just don't care. And that's how you win against that kind of people. I just don't care. I used to when Facebook first came out, and I've been on the internet since the 80s. I used to do the internet when it was all text, and people don't realize the public internet was actually started by GE. People don't realize GE was the very first, or that I knew of anyways, public chat room. And GE set up and the reason they did it is they set up an internet service system where their service guys could get direct contact with the factory and say, "I need this part." And they said, "Okay." We set up this multi-billion-dollar, back then, billion-dollar network that after like 6 p.m. didn't get used. They said, "Okay, we can make money. We can charge $10 a month and let people use the network after 6." Back when I first started doing like chat and all that, you could not start until after 6 p.m. You could use it from 6 p.m. until like 2 o'clock in the morning. And that was it.
Yeah, my first online experience with anything was the old bulletin board systems.
Yeah.
Where you actually had to know the phone number of the bulletin board and dial it up. And
it was dial-up, but it was only text back then. I mean, I was literally text. Like, I can make like Santa Clauses and stuff out of the keyboard. I was smiley faces. I have little Santa Clauses and skiers, and I can make all kinds of stuff on the screen in a regular, the scroll by text, where if you print it out, you get to, you use all your keys to make like snowflakes and crap.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've seen that.
Them into macros and scripts and stuff.
Yeah. But I can do it by hand. I did all that because that's the way you did it back then.
Yeah.
So I've learned the trolls. You just ignore them.
Right.
Because they go away the minute you respond. The minute, like, even us talking about them right now, if they were to show up, they'd be like, "Oh, they were talking about me, yay!" If you just ignore them, normally I don't even talk about them. I don't let them upset me. I don't just ignore it, and they go away. Because they're all about getting a response. I tried that for a
while. These particular couple of old men seem to have a real hard on for me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I just don't. Oh, well.
And it's not like I have anything to fear from them.
Dude, we have 0 viewers.
Cool. Awesome.
Woohoo! We chased them all away.
Just us having a hangout.
Chased the troll away.
I did see Walter's new granddaughter was born. He posted a picture of that on Twitter just a little bit ago.
We got a viewer back.
We got a viewer.
Woohoo! Hi, viewer. Glad
Don't
you
be
could come
afraid.
join us.
It's okay.
I didn't broadcast this or anything. I
Oh,
didn't
Jake.
advertise or anything. So I just figured we could hang out and BS. I like hanging out with you guys and
So,
just
Jake, there's not very
chatting.
many cool kids.
So what are you printing anyways? You said a door?
Me, I'm printing the back end of the sports car. The part that goes behind the doors. Right here.
So the whole tailgate.
Yeah,
Is it the whole piece? Like fender and everything?
Yeah, it's the rear fenders, the rear bumper.
Cool.
And
is
then
that
there's
Jeep
a
done?
on top of that.
Is that
What's
Jeep
that?
right there behind us? I keep seeing it and right there. Yeah. That's done, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're posting all these on Thingiverse?
Not yet.
Yeah.
I am giving my patrons, the people who support me on Patreon, exclusive access for a set amount of time.
Oh, right. Oh, that's a good thing. You actually have Patreon. I've never done Patreon. I don't do enough to do Patreon, to be honest with you.
Well, I
should, because I've got a lot of models out there.
Well, I didn't really think to do it until I thought, you know what, it helps motivate me to keep designing stuff and keep moving forward and making stuff. And I don't ever plan to make my models where you pay for the model itself. But if somebody wants to support me on Patreon, you can have exclusive access to it for a while, and before I put it out to the general public.
So it's a
and so if that's worth worth $1 a month to you to do that, then come on, $1 a month, and you can have 30 days of early access to a model and access to beta models that may never end up being final production.
Yeah. So how many Patreons you got? Not to be nosy.
I have 6.
6. Wow.
Yeah.
I might have to add you onto my list.
Yeah, I have 6.
See, they've got that $5 limit now, which is pissing me off. You can do $1, but you have to give them $5. So right now I have like Joel, Maker's Muse, Tom, Salamander. I can never say his last name proper.
Sandladerer.
Sandladerer, Salamander. We call him the Salamander. And one other one. I got 5. I can't remember. I think Tom Stanton is one of them too. Have you seen that kid? You shouldn't call him a kid. He's in his 30s.
I don't know.
Tom Stanton. He's an aerodynamic engineer, aeronautics engineer, whatever you want to call him. And he does like RC airplanes and stuff. You got to watch his kid. He built an air-powered 3D printed motor for his RC airplane. So he pressurizes a soda can, like a soda bottle, a 1 liter or 2 liter soda bottle, screws it onto this motor, and has a little throttle that's RC controlled, and it flies his RC airplane.
That's crazy.
It is. And it's a 3D printed motor that's air powered. The kid's brilliant.
Yeah, the reason I decided to start doing the Patreon thing is I started thinking, that gives me some motivation, because I feel like I owe something to them if they're going to sign up for that and support the channel. I owe it to them to keep cranking out models for them.
Yeah.
So more than anything, it's motivation, because it amounts to $20 a month. My 6 patrons come to $20 a month. I send $10 a month of that to Walter.
Huh?
So I get $10 a month out of that. So it's not like it's making me rich or anything.
Oh, no, but like you say, it's motivation. I've been thinking about doing it because that's why I started using my mini factory with some of my like quadcopter models and stuff. Mm-hmm. Because, it's a lot of work, and I had people interested in them. I put them on my mini factory, and I was only charging $2, and I didn't get one.
Yeah.
I put it on Thingiverse and said, please tip me. And I've actually gotten 1 tip in like 5 years, whatever I've been posting them.
Yeah, people don't ever tip the designers on Thingiverse.
Huh?
I said people don't seem to ever really tip the designers on Thingiverse.
Well, the problem with it's what I like about my mini factory. I wish it was better, more popular, better set up because it's a better platform for 3D printing. Thingiverse was originally started not just for 3D printing; it's just models you can use for gaming or video production, or and they're not. I mean, I can't tell you. Probably a third of all the models I've ever downloaded on Thingiverse. The first thing I got to do is bring them into one of my modeling applications and fix them because they're all
Right.
screwed up. With
Whether
my mini factory, everything.
a scale thing, not just a manifold thing.
Yeah, well,
You can open something up and it's this big.
Well, see, that doesn't bother me because a lot of times I upload stuff and it's in an object file because most of these 3D apps I use, especially the older ones, all export to OBJ, not STLs. And OBJ, people don't realize is like it's not to scale. OBJ will always make it the smallest it possibly can and still produce the triangles you need to save size.
Right.
So you have to scale it up. Now, I've learned in recent history, I just take it out of my program, put it in a mesh mixer, blow it up in mesh mixer, and mesh mixer will export the STL.
Right.
As big as I want it. But even then, I still end up with a much smaller. And, you look at it on your screen, you're like, oh my God, that's huge. And then you export it, and it's like, half an inch tall.
Right.
You're like, crap, that don't work. But scaling, I don't mind
STL,
scaling in a slicer.
When I export STLs out of Blender, you apply a 1000% scale modifier to them when you export them.
Yeah.
To keep them in the actual size.
I gotta learn Blender. I freaking hate Blender. I should learn it.
See, I love it because to me it's the most like 3ds Max without spending all the money on 3ds Max.
Yeah. See, I played with 3ds Max and I don't find it anything like 3ds Max. You know what you should try? And you might actually, although you know Blender, so Blender's better. But they just updated Hexagon. I don't know if you know what Hexagon is, but it's a very old. It's way before Blender and all of those. It's very similar to Blender. And actually, I think Blender is based on it in some ways. But it's a very old modeler that Daz 3D bought up and kind of shut down. And everyone thought it went on the wayside. It's literally started in the late 80s, early 90s. That's how old it is. And it used to be like free and $100 and then free and then $100 and then free. And they bought it up and it just disappeared. Well, they just released a new update to it. And it actually works really well. That was my favorite.
Well, the thing I like about Blender is
modeler.
Blender can be whatever you want Blender to be. If
but
you want Blender to be 3ds Max, it can be 3ds Max. If you want it to be ZBrush, it can be ZBrush. If you want it to be, what's that?
It really can't. It's too many hands on. See, what you don't realize is these fingers don't work. These are fake. These have been severed off. Both of these two fingers have been severed off. So for me to use the mouse and the keyboard is really difficult. The good thing is I'm left-handed, so I can still use my mouse. But I'm also on a Mac, and I use a trackball.
Okay.
I can't use a mouse. Mice drive me nuts. So the whole middle mouse button bullshit.
Oh, see, middle mouse button is everything in Blender.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Everything's middle mouse, or they have a good workaround. They actually have gotten really good at the workaround with the keyboard combination, but my fingers are not precise. I mean,
right.
My hands are big and bulky, and I do construction. I swing a hammer all day. I am not precise with my hands. When I put my fingers on the keyboards, I hit 4 buttons at the same time. I don't hit a button. It's just not. I mean, that's how Blender is. It's got to be. You either have to have that middle mouse, which this thing's got 4 buttons, but it's difficult. I don't know why they designed it this way because it's difficult to push a button and control the ball at the same time. So I don't know. It's just I know it's slower, but I still prefer to go up to a menu, click on a button, and have something operate. Or I don't mind keyboard combinations, but I don't want to have to do the mouse and keyboard combination, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like when I take a screenshot, I know it's Command Shift 4 on the Mac, but it's just Command Shift 4. I'm not trying to use the mouse too. I can't do both.
Well,
Wonder
screenshot
wants you to do both.
the print screen
like
button.
this, and I can't do it. I can't do it. My fingers are too screwed up.
Yeah.
Where Hexagon is very much a click, move, click, move, and there's shortcuts I can hold but it's a single button shortcut. It's the O key or the B key or the X key or the.
Well, with the exception of sometimes you have to hit the shift key with a key. It's all one key hotkeys for Blender too, unless it's holding down shift and hitting.
But
something.
It's not for the middle mouse replacement. That's the key.
Oh, okay.
If you're doing a middle mouse replacement and you're doing a shortcut, it's middle mouse plus these key combinations. So you're trying to push the middle mouse plus your key combination for the middle mouse, so you don't have a middle mouse, and then the key combo.
I just use
weird.
I just use this one finger to do either the middle mouse or the left because you're never using both at the same time.
Yeah. Again, I don't have both. I don't have a middle mouse.
Yeah.
So I have to hold my click plus a shortcut plus the next shortcut. It's just weird. Every time I try it, I just get frustrated. And honestly, most of the time, I'm trying to figure out crap. I learn shortcuts best by having a button that I push on, and then like Fusion. I don't know if you've used Fusion.
I have. I don't like it.
I love Fusion, but then I took like 15 years of drafting in high school and college.
Yeah, see, for me, Fusion feels too much like work. It doesn't feel like a free and open creative process.
There was when I started in high school, when I started on computers and stuff, there weren't computer CAD programs. I don't know if you know what electric boat is, but it's a big, huge submarine building complex. We build this. We're the second largest builders of submarines in the world.
Wow.
It's right down the street. So everyone learned how to do drafting. That was like a major, all the schools had drafting, and it was marine drafting, and everyone learned it because, 90% of the people in the area went to EB for jobs. And that's what I learned on. I actually like doing it. So Fusion is just like drafting on paper. I mean, if you drew with paper and pencil, there weren't computers back when I was a kid in high school. You did everything on paper and pencil. That's how you did drafting in CAD. There was no computer-aided drafting. It was drafting.
Right.
Fusion is literally exactly like for drafting. When you open up a sketch in Fusion, it's drafting. You draw the picture and then you extrude it, just like drafting.
Right.
So Fusion comes really naturally to me because that's how I learned. So I love it.
For me, it just feels too like clinical.
It is. It's but that's what I like about it because, again, that's what I learned in high school. I mean, I was a junior in high school taking drafting, and Fusion is literally exactly the same.
I'm the artistic type. It's all It's all about free flowing creativity, and things like that. And I feel very hindered in a Fusion 360 environment.
I get it because I completely understand, but that's also what I like about it is because I do both. I went to art school to do computer arts back when there were no computer arts, if that makes sense. Yeah. Computer art back in my day was you kind of drew it half-assed on the screen, and then you printed out this photocopy, and then you hand cut it and made it real, and then you put it back in the computer. That makes sense. That's what I went to college for. That's how long ago that was. But now that like I use well, I'm trying to learn ZBrush Core, which is I find that more clinical. But Sculptress, have you ever played with Sculptress?
Yes, I have.
I love Sculptress because it's literally like picking up a piece of clay and going like Play-Doh.
But see, for me, Sculptress wasn't a whole lot different than just going into sculpt mode on Blender.
Yeah, see, I never noticed the sculpt mode on Blender. I actually just downloaded it like a month ago. Because it's a plugin, I guess, or something. And I just started playing with it, but Blender still has the whole keyboard middle mouse combination drive me nuts.
And see, you were actually the reason I downloaded Sculptors.
Yeah, I love Sculptors.
After you made the Walter head,
you need the pen though. It really isn't any good with a mouse. You need a pen and tablet. You need a Wacom tablet.
Yeah,
this thing makes Sculptors so much better.
I do need to get one of those.
And they're not expensive now. If you're just gonna play with Sculptors, get the monoprice one. It's like $35.
Yeah,
and it works really well. It's 200 points of pressure. Like with the tablet, the more pressure you put on it, the thicker the line gets, or whatever.
Right.
It's 200 points. Wacom's 1086.
But you never really need it. It's more than you ever need.
No, it's not more than you ever need. If you get a Wacom, you'll use it. You'll enjoy it. You'll notice the difference. If you've never used the difference, you won't notice the difference. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like driving a car. If you've never driven a Lamborghini, you're not going to miss the Lamborghini.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's still a car. You could drive a Nissan just as well as a Lamborghini and probably ride better and have less problems.
Yeah. Within the confines of law, it doesn't matter how much your car costs or how fast it is. You can only go as fast as the speed limit lets you.
Oh, yeah,
you can only accelerate at a rate that a cop believes to be a reasonable acceleration rate.
Yeah, fuck the cops. Anyways,
I learned that one the hard way. That was the last ticket I got, was an exhibition of speed ticket for accelerating too fast.
Accelerating too fast.
Yep.
See, now the cops pull you over in Connecticut for not accelerating fast enough. Get the hell out of the way. You're obstruction of traffic.
Right?
Oh, God, we have a serious traffic problem here in Connecticut now. But that's a totally different story.
We got a few traffic problems around here, too, because, well, Nashville has no public transit whatsoever.
It's not cities around here. You can't get much more country than where I live. And yet the freaking highway backs up anyways because you get that idiot out in the left-hand lane doing 65 miles an hour. I'm doing the speed limit. Yeah, well, what you don't understand is your tires are worn, so your 65 is actually 60 because speedometers are still mechanical. And as your tires wear, your speed slows down on your speedometer.
Because you're traveling less distance per rotation of your tire.
Exactly. And it's a very precise calculation. And as the transmission wears and your tires wear and blah, 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 speedometers are plus or minus 6 miles an hour on the average.
Right. Well, like I used to have
factory. That's before you incorporate tire wear.
I gotta take this.
They can literally fluctuate up to 10 miles an hour. Is that the wife? Hi, wife. Yes, Jake from State Farm. This is where the cool kids are hanging out. I don't know how old that post is. I haven't been actually watching the chat. We have one whole viewer. It's not that I care. Colin, though. Colin should be in here. I like Colin. I don't even know how to get a hold of Colin. Talked to the kid for 3 days straight.
Okay, that was the wife. She's about 15, 20 minutes from being home.
15, 20 minutes. You travel too much. God, I hate being in a car. Couldn't have anything to do with, breaking my neck in one.
She was in St. Louis this weekend.
So you going to Murph? You can't really, can you?
I really can't. I mean, I could, but
do you ever get like a week or two off and not have to go?
When you factor in the amount of money it would cost me in income, plus the amount of money it would cost me for just the travel and all that, then I'm literally it would cost me as much as it costs guys coming from like Europe.
Yeah,
because I make 70 to 80% of my weekly income on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah. See, so you can almost pull off because you're not that far away.
Yeah, I mean, because it would
be a long day, but you could drive up to Irv, hang out, and then drive home. Well, no, it's still too far.
Yeah, it's an 8.5 hour drive to Goshen, Indiana.
I was thinking it's closer, but it's not. The minute I thought about it on the map, it's not really that close.
Yeah, so I thought about it, and I could.
Well, you slow down in the winter, don't you?
Well, but that's part of the problem. Because then you're talking about my leanest time of the year.
Yeah.
When I'm making less money, and now you want me to not make money for that week? So that makes it even tougher. I mean, it would be easier for me to justify it if it happened in the summertime, and I'm like, you know what, I make like $2,000 a week in the summer. I can miss my income for a week. And
see, it's just like me. I plan on doing most of my stuff, like my business. I do construction, so
right.
I'm starting to slow down now because of the winter. Nobody, wants to have their house torn up in the middle of the winter and the cold air blowing through.
Right.
I plan most of my trippy type stuff now, but while I was making more money, I banked a lot of it. So on my lean time, it's easier to take time off because it is lean. Because usually my boss goes, I'm like, oh, I want to take a week off. And they're like, please go. I don't want to have to pay you.
Right.
Please go away.
Yeah. And my job, it's that way. There's no such thing as paid vacation, because I'm a contractor. I get paid when I'm there. I don't when I'm not.
Right. But on your lean time, if you bank money in your strong time, in your busy time, your lean time, it's easier to take time off because, in your case, the bars and stuff are like, yeah, okay. But I don't have a Friday night with you playing there. Oh, well.
That's right about the same time, though, that it starts picking back up.
Yeah.
We're lean December through February. And then March is when things start ramping back up.
Yeah, it's about when I start ramping up, too.
Yeah. So
we're not actually working in March, but March is when everyone starts thinking about it and going, oh, I want to be first in line in, April when you start working.
It's like once when it really the real tourism season starts with like college spring break.
Yeah, all right, that makes sense.
When the colleges all start having their spring breaks, that's when the real tourism season starts, and we are running nonstop until November.
Do you ever take any time off?
No. Not a Friday or Saturday anyway. No. I do 1 week a year. We plan it, and I'll miss my Sunday and Monday show. And then we can leave out when I get off work. Saturday. We can leave straight out, and we have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and sometimes I'll go ahead and take that Thursday off too, and then I've got 5 days in a row off. Because if I take my Sunday, Monday, and Thursday off, I missed out on 30 to 40% of my income.
Yeah,
it's not a big
time off now and then. Although you really in your lean times, you're only working 3 or 4 days, nights, not really days, but 3 or 4 nights a week, right? You're not working.
Yeah, like right now I'm working 6 days a week.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm only off on Tuesdays.
This is actually probably busy for you, right?
it's very busy right now. It's actually busier right now than it is in the summertime.
Yep.
Because football and hockey.
Yeah.
Because you have college football, you have Vanderbilt. You know, so the SEC schools that are playing Vanderbilt, and when Vanderbilt has a home game, you've got them coming into town.
Jamming though. Well, they come to the bar to watch the game and listen to you jam, huh?
Well, whenever an away team is playing in Nashville, people make like 3 or 4 day, 5 day trip out of it.
Right.
That's true. Only be one day,
there's football in Nashville.
Party.
Well, that's cool. I mean, it sounds like it's a dream job for you too. I mean,
it's amazing, man. You know, and the way I always look at it, I would be doing it anyway. I might as well be getting paid for it.
Yeah, it's the way I used to think about construction. Now I kind of wish I'd found something else.
Well, because I'm a miserable son of a gun if I'm without music for very long. I really am. The longest break that I've ever had from music in the 28 years I've been doing this is 2 years. I had 2 years where I was not in a band and not making music.
No, you're all country music, and you're actually country rock. I would consider it. It's not actually country. You're more country rock. Yeah,
right? Don't think like Willie Nelson country. Think more like Jason Aldean country.
I don't honestly, and I'm not a big country music. I'm a classic rock kind of guy.
Yeah, no, it's jumping up and down, running around all over stage, jumping off the stage and running around.
It's country rock. It's modern. It's modern country. What I call country rock.
Yeah. But now we'll play the classic stuff if that's what someone's tipping for.
Yeah.
I
should say I don't like country because there's a lot of. I love like Johnny Cash, and he's basically country, but he's borderline country rock too when you get right down to it.
Yes, Jake, I've heard of the Steel Drivers. Chris Stapleton used to be their lead singer, and then the guy that replaced Chris Stapleton is a friend of mine, a guy named Gary Nichols.
What's up, Paul? I don't know how long ago I haven't even been watching the chat. It's over on the side, and I haven't even been looking at it.
I hadn't either. I just saw Jake's message pop up. I missed Paul's.
Oops. What do we got? Well, we're down to one viewer again.
It must just be Jake. Just Jake is watching. Paul's like, they're ignoring me. I'm out of here.
Yeah, probably.
Sorry, Paul.
Cool. I don't care. I just like hanging out and bullshitting.
Right?
I don't care. You're a nice guy. I like hanging out with you. It's that simple.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. I guess
hang out and BS. And,
I guess it makes the people who hate me for no reason not seem as important.
Yeah, I know. Got to get over that hate crap. People that don't bother them, I just Well,
it really doesn't. I mean, not that bad. I just it irks me that I never did anything negative toward them whatsoever.
Yeah, but that's just it. You got to learn it. That's just who cares?
Like, you want to spew bile and hate at me for no reason whatsoever?
Who?
Whatever. What's that?
Who was that?
Yep, I got. Oh, yeah, Steel Drivers. Yeah, but Gary's a super nice guy. Gary really is. He is the nicest guy I've ever opened for in my life.
What are you talking about, Dan?
Yeah, Gary Nichols. He had a record deal with Universal Records as a solo artist years back. And I opened a show. I opened a show for him at a hotel bar in St. Louis, and me and my band, we get there, and Gary and his band are sound checking when we arrive, and they're just finishing up their sound check. Well, Gary looks out, sees us standing by the soundboard, and he goes over the microphone. He said, "Is that the opening band?" And sound guy gives him a thumbs up, and he's like, "Can you guys come up here?" And I'm thinking, "Oh God, here we go," because it's like I've opened for enough people. I know what's coming next. This is my stuff. This is expensive stuff. Don't touch my stuff. That's what's coming, because that's what every major act does that you're opening for. Is someone tells you this is our stuff. Don't touch it. So I'm like, okay, here it comes. So we meander up there, and he goes, "Hey guys, the stage isn't very big. So if you guys can use something up here and it would save you some room, feel free, man. This stuff's meant to be played.
You're like,
So,
what?
yeah, I was like, so my drummer used his drummer's drum kit. My keyboard player used his keyboard player's keyboard. My guitar player and bass player used their amplifiers. So we had more room on stage. And so we plug in, we sound check, we start the show. And right after we start the show, Gary and his whole band come out and sit in a table front and center of right in front and center of the stage and cheer and carry on and supported us. It was awesome. I mean, I've never seen anybody I've opened for do that. And it was kind of a slow show. There wasn't much going on there. So his time come around, and me and the guitar player for my band stayed and was watching him. About halfway into the show, he actually had less people watching him than were there to see us. And he just gets on the mic and tells the sound guy, he's like, put some house music on, man. We're taking a break. And he hops off stage and he motions to me and my guitar player. He's like, hey man, you want to come hang out on the bus? We're gonna go back and chill for a while. So I was like, sure. So yeah, we ended up hanging out on the bus with Gary for about a half an hour in the middle of his show.
That's bizarre. Yeah, people surprise me. Some people you think are going to be the worst idiots are the nicest, and some are.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and you know, we've remained in touch over the years, off and on. So, and he, you know, has never acted like he didn't remember that night. So.
What? What? Well, the computer's doing stuff that I don't care about, all on its own.
Well, unfortunately, Tom, I'm not going to get to hang with you much longer.
Yeah, I gotta go soon.
Because when the wife gets home, she's been gone all weekend. She's going to want to spend a little time with me before I go to work.
You
I leave
wife.
I leave. Well, you know, I tell everybody this. There are two secrets to a long and happy marriage. Number one,
she's already
don't marry somebody unless they're your best friend.
She's always right.
Number two is she's always right. You know that one.
Yeah. She's always right. That's no one hand to, dude.
If every ounce of your being on the inside is screaming she's wrong, choke that back and just nod your head and say, okay.
Or do like I do and just not get married. My boss is constantly, because I'm actually working on my boss's house lately. I'm constantly fighting with his wife. I actually like his wife. She's like my sister, which is the problem. I've known them for like 25 years. I used to work for myself, and I did a lot of their home improvements. He used to buy houses and flip them, not as a business, but more as a side thing, just for something to do. And I've been working on their houses for 20, 25, 30 years now. And now I'm working for him as an employee, and we're remodeling their house. And I'm constantly conflicting with her because, you know, she wants everything done today. And reality is I'm doing this myself. Plus, I'm trying to help your husband run his fence business. I can't do everything all at once. You know what I mean? Right. I can't like rebuild your garage and make sure the guys are out on the site and make sure they have material and build gates. Because I don't know if you've ever seen what I do, but like we build some real custom fencing and I make the fence. I like literally physically, like, you know, if it's got swirlies and curly cues and all that, I make all that crap. Neat. So if the fence needs to be done, that's a priority. Their garage waits. Right. She gets all upset. I need my garage. Well, if there's only so many hours a day, you have no money for the garage. Right. You know what I mean? It's like there's priorities here.
Yeah, the closest I can ever go to telling my wife that she's wrong on something is I was like, look, we're gonna do it your way. Don't even think we're not. But let me just go on record as saying this is probably not a good idea.
Yeah, but I can't even
go on record. But we'll do it your way.
I'm one of those people that I won't. He keeps going, just tell her you're gonna do it and just don't. And I'm like, I can't do that. You know.
Right.
For one, I like Mary.
That way, whenever it goes wrong, and I went on record saying it was probably not a good idea. When it goes wrong, I don't even have to say I told you so.
Yeah, but I'm not one of those people. I can't. It's why I've never been married, because I just can't. I just can't do it.
I was like, no, we'll do it your way.
Can't do it. I'm one of those tell you in your face straight, and I'm not a I told you so person. I'm just not going to agree with you just to make it go away. I'm going to tell you the reality and the facts, and I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm not going to bullshit you, and I'm not going to twist things around. I'm just
the only time I'll call her on this if it's going to cost us
straight in your face. That ain't right.
Yeah, if it's going to cost us more money to do it her way, I'm going to say, look, honey,
it ain't going to happen. And that's the other thing. It's like,
I'm a musician for a living, right?
Well, I mean, she came up with this brilliant idea, and she's usually right. But they were going to redo the deck.
Right.
They bought a house. It's fairly new. They've only been there a year. They wanted to redo the deck. And she wanted this multi-tier, beautiful thing that stretches out across the back lawn. And I'm like, that's absolutely gorgeous, but for two things. There's me, not a crew of guys. And two, you're talking about like $30,000 in material.
Right. It's going to take 6 months to do, and
it take me forever. And it's just me, It's just me. The fence guys don't do this stuff.
It's going to cost a fortune to take forever.
I'm the carpenter. The fence guys are fence guys. I'm a carpenter. That's what I do. I don't install the fences. I make them, and then those guys go and install them. When it comes to installing them, I have no clue. Those digging holes and setting the concrete and the spacing and the stringing the lines and all that—that's all you guys. I don't want to know about it. But she's like, "Oh, let's do this, do that, do that," and I'm like, "Talk to your husband. Talk to your husband. Don't tell me about it." She gets mad because I'm like, "Talk to your husband. That's going to cost $1 million. You can't do that." And I'll tell her, I'm like, "That's going to cost $1 million. We can't do that." She's like, "Well, that's my decision." I'm like, "No, that's you and your husband's decision. Go talk to him."
Right, because when you're talking about finances, that's best done as a group decision between.
What's worse is she really should be an interior designer. I mean, for real. Yeah. She is really, really good. She has an eye for that kind of crap. But her eye is, sure, it's a $10,000 couch. It's beautiful.
Right.
But it's freaking $10,000 too. Come to reality.
Yeah. The thing with any project like that, it all starts with a budget.
Yeah, and she doesn't.
It's got to start with a budget. What is your budget? Here's how much you can spend. Let's not go over that. And now let's look and see what we can do with that.
And the thing he's got to learn is he's got to give her a budget, and he's got to figure, okay, I have, say, $10,000 to do this remodel. I'm going to tell her $8,000. That way, when she goes over by $2,000, I have it.
Right.
No, and she does though. She's got a really good eye. But
yeah, my God, you can do some amazing things within a budget. And if you're not looking for a budget, you can do some really amazing things too. But you can still do great things and stick within a reasonable area of a budget.
Yeah, no.
Like I like QVC. I love to go to thrift stores. I love to go to thrift stores and find stuff that is worth way more than what I'm going to spend on it. And even if I've got to clean it up, paint it, something like that, that's what I'll do.
See, here's the ultimate problem. She's a spend money, buy new, do everything great, buy the latest, greatest, which is actually good in my business, as long as you got the money to do it. The problem is he's just the opposite. He's one of those go on eBay, go on, Facebook Marketplace. Let's find a screen door that's, a tear out from an old house that's $50 and put that in because it's $50. It's a screen door. It's $50. What he doesn't realize is he's going to pay me $200, making that $50 door actually fit because it doesn't fit.
Well, see that again. That's a lot of the DIY part of it. Is I do that kind of stuff myself. Like we've got stuff. I love like metal wall hangings for decoration. Like the metal sculpture things.
Oh,
and I
know
find
what
stuff
you're talking about. Modern art, but metal. Yeah.
I find stuff like that at Goodwill all the time. That's dirt cheap.
Okay.
That it was at Pier 1, last year for $1,000, and I'm getting it for $25 at Goodwill. I just got to take it home, straighten out a few dents in it.
On that wall, man.
Right. I just got to take it home, straighten out a few dents in it, and paint it to match our color scheme of our house, which they make spray paint for that. Yeah.
I don't mind doing that for myself.
Right.
I hate doing that for a job because most people don't realize that the hours it takes to do something like that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
When I'm charging them by the hour,
yeah,
plus materials, and he gets this $25 art sculpture, and then I got to sand it and clean it and spray it and blast it, and all of a sudden this $20 piece of art costs him $400 because it's taking me a week to do it.
Big
like, why is it costing?
No, Jake, I have not heard of the haunted wind chimes.
What's that?
Jake asked if I had heard of the haunted wind chimes. I said no. And Big Steve joined us.
Haunted wind chimes. I haven't even been watching chat. The only one in there is Jake.
Right.
We got 3 whole viewers. 3. We're fucking maxed out, dude.
I know. Well, it's really great hanging with you, man. But I do have to jet. My wife is literally pulling into the subdivision right now. I have find my friends.
Yeah. Well, we had fun. We'll chat some other time.
Yeah, we'll hang out again. Appreciate it, Tom, and I'll see you later, buddy.
Later, man.
And see you later to Jake and Big Steve in chat. Later, guys.
All right, I'm out of here too. See you guys. We'll kick it now. Pretty soon is going to be the Fun in the Country basement, which if you look for it, will be on the interweb. If you look for Fun in the Country basement, and you'll see Fun King 3D, Chris Riley if he's home. I know he travels a lot for work. And Walter if he has enough power off his generator where he got wiped out in Florida or not. But anyways, go watch that. That should be in a couple hours, I think. I think they start about 4 or 5 o'clock. Anyways, out of here. See ya.